Today's speaker is David Summersheim. David has spent more than 30 years in the business of strengthening teams with a focus on maximizing efficiency, profitability, and customer satisfaction. His ability to bring solutions to everyday problems facing companies today, from management to the front lines, positions him as a go-to problem solver. David helps businesses identify and solve their problems. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A while back, I was in the Fort Myers airport, and I was having a great morning. I had just spent 2 days with an employee, and we had had just a fantastic job. We had taken care of the customer. It was a safe job, and the attitude and focus was all there. So I was going through the airport, and I had a little extra bounce in my step because things were going so well. Just a great attitude, a great focus. For being 4:45 in the morning, it was a great attitude and great focus. So I'm walking through the airport, and I get to the TSA checkpoint, and not a lot going on. I noticed an older couple and 2 TSA agents down at the bottom of the ramp. Well, I got down there and I realized that the older couple was struggling a little bit. They were working with their shoes and their belts and their electronics. So when I got down there, I decided I would give them a few extra feet, 4 or 5 feet. I didn't want to push them. I wanted to be courteous. So I let them do their thing, and a minute or two went by. And 2 other men came down the ramp behind me. Another minute goes by, and finally, they get their baggage through the X-ray machine, and then they walk through the machine. I move up to the conveyor belt, and right as I went to put my bag on the conveyor belt, a man comes around me murmuring, and he comes in front of me, and he blocks me out as if he's going for a rebound in the last second of a national championship basketball game. And he's blocking me out and cutting in front of me. Well, I'm confused. I don't know what to think at this point. So I think back to 8th grade basketball. So what do? I come around him and I cut in front of him and I block him back out too. Now, in the same motion, I'm a little confused. I was having a great morning, and all of a sudden, I don't know what to think. I've never been literally physically pushed out of the way. But I reach into the X-ray machine, and I pull his bag out. And I push it back across the conveyor belt. And in the same motion, I bring my bag up, and I push it into the X-ray machine. So I'm spread out over the conveyor belt. I really don't know what to think. And right then, the TSA agent comes up and looks down at me and he said, "Sir, did you remember to take the electronics out of your bag?" Well, he's just seen what's going on and he knows that I'm sideways. And I look up at him and I didn't want to throw, I didn't want to lie. I've just committed a federal offense by pulling that bag out of the X-ray machine. And I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to throw gas on the fire. So I looked up at him and I said, "I think I'm okay." Well, he looked into my eyes and he immediately knew there was going to be a problem. Because what I was thinking was, I am not going to let this guy get through this. If you detain me or you hold me or you put me through all this, my whole idea is that this guy behind me that just cut me off is not going to get through this before me. So I'm going to bring this entire TSA security checkpoint down to its knees. And this is all just rolling through my head. And then I thought, I've got an artificial hip that I've had for a few years, and it's caused me some delay. I haven't wanted it to, but it's caused me delay. But then I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to use the hip. I'll use the hip to bring this thing down to a crawl. I can do it because I know how it works. I can cause 10-minute delay. So he's looking in my eyes and he knows he has a problem. So he lets me roll on. The bag goes through full of electronics. And I go on through and I didn't beep. Well, I get to the other side and I look down at my watch and my heartbeat is racing. My Fitbit's showing me an elevated heart rate, and I'm getting everything together. I'm thinking, what just happened? Something major has happened because this is not me. And I immediately think, well, maybe this guy had a problem, or maybe he was in a big hurry. But I wanted to confront it because these are things, this is so out of the ordinary for me. I wanted to confront it immediately because it just wasn't normal. So I thought, I'm going to go down the concourse and I'm going to see what's going on. So I walked down the concourse. I'm looking for him. He had to have been in a hurry. I get down. Nothing's going on. There are no flights leaving at that time in the morning. And I get to my flight. And sitting in a chair, waiting for the flight, is this guy without a care in the world, looking at his iPad. He doesn't care. He doesn't have a problem. He was in no hurry. We still have an hour to go before our flight leaves. He was just rude. And he's fine. And I have had a dramatic impact to my attitude and my focus. So I stood there and I thought, you know what, this is such a big thing. It's so unlike me to respond the way I did. So I took his picture. And I thought, I'm going to remember this. Well, a day or two goes by, and I keep looking at that picture, and I'm thinking, this is the guy that completely destroyed my great attitude and my great focus. This guy destroyed it. And I kept looking at that picture. Let me show you all a picture of the guy that destroyed my attitude and my focus. That's me. That's not the man I'm talking about. It's me. I'm the one I'm talking about. What I did is I let an uncontrolled variable affect my attitude and my focus. That's what I got from this incident at the Fort Myers airport. I let it happen to me. Now, I can look at attitude and I can look at focus. I can take a picture of all those uncontrolled variables that impact me, that affect me. What would I be doing though? I'd be taking a picture of the next 200 people that are rude to me in the airport. I would be doing that in the next 2 to 3 months. Are the 4 to 5 people at work that might not be communicating or might be disrespectful to some of their coworkers? Would I take their picture to remind me of that? Or that family member, that the black sheep that continually stirs it up and keeps the family full of drama? Well, my family has 2 of those, so I'd have to take pictures of the 2 of those family members. But no, that's not what you do. Those are uncontrolled variables. And the key to it is how you respond to them. So I look back and I look at how my attitude was impacted. I believe I committed a federal offense. I'm in a situation to where my whole goal by giving that couple extra room was so I could be courteous. I could be a gentleman. And now suddenly I'm talking about blocking the whole TSA checkpoint. It's amazing. So yeah, it affected my attitude tremendously. And what about my focus? My focus, I manage 30 fusion experts that travel throughout the world, and the key to what they do is that they can't let anything affect their focus. It just can't happen. Because if they let one thing affect their focus, that could be the difference between a successful job and a very unsuccessful job. And as a matter of fact, and this goes with all of us, we let something affect our focus, and that can be the difference between us coming home in one piece and us coming home healthy, or us not coming home at all. So what I learned from this is the attitude and the focus is 100% with me. It's 100% with us. And this talk is about identifying how you can keep those uncontrolled variables from impacting you. And later, there's a second discussion on how you can identify those triggers where you can keep those under control so you don't respond the way that I did. Now, generally, the talk would be over and we'd go on, but I have a feeling that you all just might want to see one more picture. So I brought it with me. There he is. There he is in all his glory. That's the man that started this whole incident. And you know, when I first took the picture and I'd look at it the first few times, I'd think, look at what this man did to me, and look at the impact that he made on my attitude and focus. But you know, now I look at it and I thank him, because now I'm going to look at this scenario much, much differently. Thank you very much.